Hey everybody, Nate from Lights on Barn Owl. I take you through a quick demo and walk through my show. So this year we've got about 50-ish thousand lights. Added a lot of new props, a lot of new stuff. This is my third year doing this. So we'll start with the trees. This year I've got the Wally's waterfalls in the trees, along with some spotlights, floodlights. Tried out some seeds, see how it looks. It's kind of hanging on there, but just more or less see the effect. I got some ideas for next year, but pretty much have a receiver in each tree, wired across the sidewalk. Use some Gorilla Tape when it was warm out. Put that across, it held up pretty good. I have 7 controllers. This is one of them in my yard. I mount them all to just fence post, garden posts with some hose straps. In the front I got the rock speakers with the push for music button. Got that from Your Pixel store with the changeable sign, fan favorite. Also added pulse mesh this year with the app. Didn't really advertise it a whole lot, but it worked really well for the people that tried it. These are all brand new this year. These are the GE Spin Archies. These have the flat back pixels from Visionary Light Shows VLS Mark. And then what I did was I just used conduit and rebar, so pretty much it'll just lift up, and 3 pieces of rebar is all that'll be left. I stake all my wires down with garden stakes. These kids like to run through the yard even though we don't want them to. So you'll see all my wires are all staked down everywhere. These are from last year. They moved up a little bit in the show. Originally I planned to have this stuff a little further back, but the hill wasn't quite as steep and it was blocking everything in the back. So this stuff's gonna move around a little bit. These are the new Showstopper fireworks fountains. These are the EFL not so round medium-sized candy canes. So I thought this is kind of a cool way to add some dimension to the show. Got a receiver here powering all this. So that receiver and that controller control pretty much this whole part of the yard. Trees in the front of my yard. Then I added these along the driveway this year. So these are some of my smaller props. Wife doesn't like these a whole lot because it's hard to get in and out of the cars. So nothing fits in the garage because it's all Christmas in there. But we added the 3-foot Home Depot bulbs this year. I bought the conversion kit from Wally's. So it's got the 4 puck lights in there. So I got that, matches on both sides. This side I've got the pixel poles. So those are again from EFL. And then these trees are pretty neat. These are from Pixel Paradise. I tried out 3 of them. This is a new product they had. You can see I only got one of the stars done, but hey, whatever. Get them out there, nobody knows. And then this is my original mega tree from 3 years ago from Holiday Coro. And some of the presents that I had originally from them. You know, obviously temporary is more permanent when it comes to this hobby, so some of my temporary stuff here that didn't quite get done is just kind of chilling. I've got 2 receivers out here because I added this stuff at the last minute. Again, just use the Gorilla Tape across the sidewalk, it worked fine. Presents. The side of the house, I have 2 entry points that seal up. Those are just vents for dryer vents. So once the wires come out, those seal up. But that was a nice way to get the wires in the house. On the front, I got the Mother All Reese. I got 2 of those. There were supposed to be some GE Fusions right here, but I broke the mount while I was doing it and had to 3D print another one. So those will be next year's show. Got the icicles and the trim lighting. This is all from my original show, all the trim. That's worked out very well. Up top, this is the new seed pixel matrix from Your Pixel Store. So this is the smaller version. I just kind of stretched it out sideways. It worked really well. I've got 2 pieces of conduit, and I used some clips that I printed from SFL Designs. So I got those. What's nice with these clips is the anchors. I'll just pull them out. The anchors will stay in and you barely see them in the off season. My garage, I use a projector. So the projector is just cheesily on my driveway right now. That'll be over here next year, and I'll skew all the projections so that we'll be able to not have that in the middle of the driveway. I did buy a projection screen last year for my garage, so this is actually made for garages to project on. That was pretty neat. It makes it a lot clearer image on the garage. So let's keep walking here. These are my original round trees and candy canes. This is all from Holiday Coro, still going strong from year 1. The North Pole sign from Holiday Coro. So this is kind of all my year 1 stuff that I had. And then I've got some floodlights here. I've got 3 floodlights to wash the house. I've got my 0.95 inch space matrix here. This is filled with Evos. So these are all Evos in here. Lightweight, but still kind of heavy. I built a frame out of conduit using maker's parts here, so you can kind of see I used the clips. There's actually a receiver behind this because this is the window to my office where I make all the magic happen. And then I've got 2 what are those, Grand Illusions up there. Those are actually, see if I can zoom in on it at all. Here we go. You can actually see the high test fishing line. I actually just mounted hooks inside my daughter's window, and I just hang those out. I put pipe insulation on the back just so they don't bang against the window. You can see the window matrix. That's again Your Pixel Store seed matrix, 2-inch spacing. You can see the mount that I did with the SFL clips for the J channel, and built that. I've got pixel pole on each side of that. Again, right here, we've got the entry point for my cabling. That's a HVAC vent again. So all this cabling will come down, and then I'll be left with a nice sealed hole in the house. Let's kind of keep walking around here. I'll show you the upstairs. So up in my son's room there, we have the icicles and again, the 2-inch matrix. I did mount 1 receiver up there to the house. Didn't want to put screws in my siding, but I didn't want to leave that on the roof, so I just compromised and put it under the lap. So that'll probably stay up there, or I'll just seal those holes. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I do have room for another GE Attitude. I've got 2 of those over there that do the faces, so there'll be a 3rd one there. It's made, it just never got done and mounted this year. But as you can see, I've got the solar panel mounts up there. That's how those are mounted. It's 3 solar panel mounts for each one, and then I built an easel. That roof right there is 8/12 pitch, so it was a little hard to do sandbags or anything, and it's just 3 bolts hold that up. Real easy to install. Up top is one of my favorites. That's the Showstopper flake. I have the spinner on the side, but that flake is probably one of the cooler props I have. And then I got the moving heads this year. They almost didn't make it up, but the wind tore all my icicles off the house, so I rented a lift again and built the mounts for the moving heads. Those are secured up there with 2 solar panel mounts, and then I have a securing device up there that you'd harness to that I have them clipped to just in case those come loose at some point. All 3 windows on top are 4 panels of the 2-inch wide matrix or 2-inch spacing matrix from Your Pixel Store. Down here, I've got the new Showstopper trees, 4 of the regulars and 1 of the Fat Boys. Those are really cool this year, real dense, can do a lot of neat stuff. Didn't use them for half of what they could be used for, I'm sure. And here, I've got another seed pixel matrix. This is 7 panels. Again, you can see how I did the conduit with the clips. So those clips will just come out. This whole thing weighs, the actual seeds in it weigh probably 5 to 6 pounds. The conduit probably weighs more than the seeds. Then just ran the wires along the back, and that comes into controller. So I switched to all Genius controllers this year. Judge me for my wiring, some of it was temporary, but this is a 32 channel controller. I have an outdoor switch that looks like the cover fell off, but hey, it's going strong, still working. Home Depot bulbs, more floodlights to wash the porch. Those are always a good look. Over here, another controller. This one looks a little more scary. It never got cleaned up. A lot of last minute ads here. That's another 32 port controller. And then I've just got hooks along the top there that hide all the wires. Same thing around here, kind of bring the wires around, keep them clean. These are really neat. These are from VLS again, Visionary Lights. This is their shotgun matrix. This is 95 inches tall. So it's 5 across with 1 inch spacing. I upgraded from 2 inch spacing, 3 across. They can do text, very clear. I'm gonna probably go up and around next year with those, but that was really a neat ad. Really inexpensive if you have a 3D printer. I've got my frogs. Forget where those came from, but they're randomly in the shows. The kids love the frogs because they're not in every song, not singing in every song. So when they do pop up, the kids get excited to see the frogs. Got my big mega tree. Got 18-foot mega tree here. This is from Matos Sasquatch. I've got a 6-foot base on it. I did use the base levelers, which are nice, and I used the screw-in anchors. So it's actually real solid now. Before I was just kind of staking them into the ground, but now that I got those base levelers, it helped a lot. This is the small enclosure from your Pixel store. I've got a 16-port Genius controller in there. I've got my guy wires there supporting it. Matos seeds, or Matos Evos on the strips, nice and light. Shows through on both sides, so if they twist, still looks good. This one's 32 by 200, 1 inch spacing. GE Star on top, looking good. Got the fan favorite penguins here, and Mr. Snowman that everybody loves. This is all on its own controller also. Probably could have done a receiver, but I was planning to do more with these trees. That'll be next year. So I got another controller here. It's a wired Watts box. It actually fits the 16-port Genius perfectly. Just strapped it. Actually, no, that's the new Matos box actually. 1500. It actually has the hose straps on the back, which was nice. But it fits the Genius board perfectly. And I got these 4-port glands from Pixel Paradise. So this box was really cool. Turned out perfect. Just hiding back here behind my penguins. I added my old arches that I used to have in the front on the side of the house this year. So we're gonna do a little more next year. Gonna do some walk-through arches, kind of like May's Family Christmas has. I really liked his arches. So I'm gonna try to do some going down this way and do some more stuff along the fence. Got Santa and my reindeer up there. This year I changed it up a little bit. I used pulleys and some rope. So I actually just put 3 eye bolts on the house, and I've got them tied in there. So I just pull them up. I do have to secure the bottoms a little more because they do bang around a little bit when it's windy. But we didn't really focus a whole lot on the side of the house this year. That'll be more next year. But last year I hung them, but I had to wait till I got the lift back to take them down. So this year I'll actually be able to take them down sooner. And once I get the lift, I'll take all the icicles down. So my icicles had a little mishap in November. A lot of them got ripped off the house, so we get a lot of wind. I used the conduit mounts this year, but ended up putting some self-tappers in, and then put some, you can kind of see here, I'll try to zoom in. I have some zip ties and some eye bolts underneath, holding them from spinning. So when they would spin, that's what caused the problem. It would flip up and then they'd rip off. So ever since I did that, I've had no issues. Got my Showstopper spinner up there, which is awesome. I'm probably gonna lower that a little bit next year. So it's a little lower, it's a little high on the house. And I plan to put some more flakes and do some stuff on the fence Just never got around to it. Got my maker pipe on the back of my snowman. So that's what's supporting him. Just built a mount, printed some mounts from Inspire Light Shows. And then I put a self-tapper in the conduit, and that just taps into the rebar so he doesn't slide around and it stays. Same thing with my penguins. That's all conduit. Again, I got my self-tapper holding in the rebar. All my wires are staked into the ground, except these, because I had 2 of my arches fall down. So a little bit of a mess right there, but everything else looks good. So that's pretty much the basic of my show. Biggest change I made this year was everything's on conduit now. So it's all rebar. Make it even faster. I used to zip tie to the rebar, but now everything just is gonna lift right up once it's good to go. Just undo the connectors. So you'll notice everything is on EMT conduit. I used some washers. Put a washer in the front. Well, this is like the only one I didn't paint. Most of them are painted to match. But I used a washer on the front, washer on the back, and then just a conduit clip. So all that will stay on. We'll just pull it off the rebar every year. Did the same thing with my little props over here. Those are all on rebar and conduit. Makes it real easy to change out. I had a couple pixel failures, not too many this year. It was a good year, but just unhook it, pick it up, bring it in. So that's my show. Lights on Barnaul. Like I said, about 50,000 lights. Really got into this hobby about 3 years ago. Can't say enough good things about all the vendors in the community. It's been awesome learning this. Awesome having fun and really checking all this stuff out. There's so many great people in this hobby that are willing to help you and teach you, and you know, everybody in the Zoom room. Can't tell you how many times all those people have helped me out. So this is it. It's cold. We're in Illinois. I really know why you Florida guys like doing this and girls like doing this in Florida, because this cold, man, is a killer. A lot of our other shows tore down already, and I know why they did, because it was 50 degrees. I waited till it's 20 out, so I'm gonna pay for that the next couple days tearing down, but this will all come down in probably a day. So Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for watching. This is my 2024 show. Lights on Barnaul signing out.